Hey guys, it's Ken from OK Portugal and welcome to another episode of Portugal Farm Life. It's been a while since we've made one of these farm life episodes and you're probably thinking the farm is looking quite different. We've just come out of a really dry, hot summer. Everything around us was just like all dusty and brown, and now we're starting to get a little bit of greenery popping up, and it's probably not going to be long until I'm out here with the lawnmowers again, cutting back all of this grass. Our neighbor Joaquin, he's here with his tractor, he's here with his tiller, and he's going to be preparing our fields so that we can grow some grasses on there for the winter months. And he's just in the distance over there. I'm going to try and see if I can catch up with him. We've had about a week of rain. It's been like a really unpleasant week. Everything's kind of like muddy. We got these big wet dogs that have been coming into the house, bringing in tons of mud and dust and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's been a bit bad. But yeah, I mean, look at this. We've got a nice sunny day today. It's October, you know, it's like the first half of October. And so, you know, the weather's still going to be okay for us. It's actually okay all the way up until December usually, and then it starts to get really horrible. Hello Eddie, how's it going, my sausage? Come here. He's a good boy. That's a good boy. This is Edmundo, the farm protector. Right, so let me get down to Joaquin. I can show you what he's doing. Now, he was here yesterday and already started on a whole bunch of these fields. As you can see, he's done like a front one over there, he's done this one. He's done a little bit of that one yesterday, and now I think he's just putting on the finishing touches now. And then he still has to do all the way around the sides, all the way down the back. He's using something called a disc harrow. It's basically, it's kind of like a plow, but it's much shallower than a plow. And it's got discs. And those discs basically cut into the ground at different angles. And they break up all of the root bundles. And they make the soil nice and soft. So it's a nice planting substrate that you can put seeds directly into, and then they'll grow. This year we actually left the fields to go fallow, so we basically didn't do anything with them after they were cut. They weren't tilled or anything, and we just kind of left them the whole of summer. All of the grass was obviously cut back, so there wasn't any real new growth, no sort of fire risk, but I think it's basically given the field some time to recharge, and I'll be really interested to see the effect that it has on the growth this year. Last year was a record for the grass growth. I can't remember exactly how many bundles we got, but I mean, it was a huge amount. And so these fields are just doing better and better every single year. Yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. We've got this nice chocolatey brown color. We've obviously had lots of rain. We can see there's lots of organic material now that's been chopped up and put in here. And Joaquin said he's going to be coming back a little bit later with a whole bunch of sheep in here, and he's going to be spraying it all over the place. And that's great for the fields, but not so great for us, because along with that comes a huge amount of flies. So probably for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be very flyy out here and not too pleasant. It's actually been so nice to have these fields, you know, nice and flat and unplowed, because when we go on walks with the dogs, it's so much easier. At the moment now, to try and walk on this stuff it's quite difficult and also really muddy. So I'll be interested to find out from Joaquin exactly what he's going to be planting. Usually around about this time of year, he puts in a whole bunch of different clovers and things like that. And those help to regenerate the soil, add nitrogen to the soil, or fix nitrogen in the soil. So I think he's probably going to be doing the same thing again. But then he's also going to plant some types of grasses and things so that his sheep have food to eat. Now that it's a nice sunny day, you can actually see exactly where the fire burnt a couple of weeks ago when we had that big fire on the farm. It's been so cloudy and rainy for the last couple of days that I haven't really been able to see the mountains. So yeah, jeez, it looks completely different. The fire definitely, it was big. It looks as if it went over the hill as well. So this is Joaquin's 3430 tractor. It's actually one of his smaller ones. Look how it's good, well, having understeer here as it goes around the corner. Look how the wheels are slipping. Obviously the ground is quite muddy, and this is actually one of his smaller tractors. Now his bigger tractor unfortunately has a problem with the clutch, and he's waiting for a new flywheel or something like that. So he's having to use the smaller one. So even with a week of rain, our water levels in the dam here are really low. I mean, it's probably about as low as I've ever seen them, really. Maybe not. Maybe this is what it was like last year. I mean, if you look behind me here, this is ground level, disappearing fast as we go deeper and deeper into this little hole. And yeah, here we go. So yeah, very little water. Also, sadly, I can't see any more goldfish. All of the goldfish have pretty much disappeared, which is really bizarre because you know, we put them in here 4 years ago and they were breeding like mad, and we had hundreds if not thousands of goldfish in here, and now they're all completely gone. Actually, I say that, but if you're looking at the water surface there rippling, I'm seeing tiny little goldfish fry. So that's interesting. We've got tiny little fry, but all of the big fish are gone. So I suspect what's probably happened here is we've had a predator like a turtle or an otter or something, because you do get those, because we are about 900 meters from the big dam, and that's got otters and turtles and things. And yeah, they will basically eat up all of the big fish. They won't leave anything behind. So you know, if these fish had died from the water being bad or something like that, then we would have seen them all floating on the surface. I also had a really big koi in here that we got. I'm talking like maybe 7 of them, some of them up to about 60 centimeters, 50 centimeters long. And yeah, there's just absolutely no trace. So I think a predator's definitely come in here and finished them. But yeah, fortunately we do still have all of these little fry, so hopefully these will make a comeback, and whatever predator was in here that ate them all has gone, and well, we'll have some more fish, and maybe even some little baby koi fry as well. Yeah, it's a real shame, you know, because they were really happy in here. Obviously right now the water is quite low, but you know, in the wetter months the water comes all the way up to the top here, to where I'm climbing out. And yeah, and then you can imagine if I spin around and show you this giant hole in the ground, how much water must be in here. It's a huge volume. It's an awesome place for fishies. I'm just going to catch up with Joaquin. He's already gone all the way down to that side over there. While I've been flying the drone around and getting some awesome footage. And it hasn't taken him long at all. He's already completed this whole side over here. And look at our olive trees. So these were actually pruned last year. Well, the ones that you're looking at now weren't. Look at the amount of olives. I mean, this is a crazy amount. It's looking really, really good. But it's only on some of our trees. So like these rows here, they weren't pruned. Actually, it looks as if it was pruned, I'm not sure. But anyway, these ones over here were pruned, and as you can see, all of the fresh new growth, there's no olives on it, which is pretty normal. Normally you have to wait a year or two until the olives come back at full strength. But yeah, look at this. Incredible. Loads. So if all goes well, we should have quite a decent harvest just off these kind of rows over here. Last year was like a bit of a disaster for us. We had no olives. I think in the area there was a bit of a problem with the olives, and also you know, because of the prune. So yeah, let's see. Joaquin's now starting on the big field at the bottom here. This one usually takes quite a while to do. Yeah, see, we've got some old fence that he put up, so that when he had his sheep down there, the sheep were contained. It looks like he's going to remove that now and probably just plow straight through it. So we had like a little fence between these two fields. The poles were all rotten and stuff. So we've just pulled it up, and I think he's just going to till straight through it. And then once that's done, we'll put a new fence down. Good. And here we can see these discs a little bit better. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll have seen these loads. Look how they've got this on the inside to get all of the mud off. And look how these ones point this way and the ones in front point the other way. So as they go through, watch how they cut up the soil. And that's really important for getting rid of like all the roots and things. Because if you look at these, you know, it's all just full of roots and bundles and things. Geez, I'm so amazed at how green everything is already. Just in like 1 week of rain, it's all just gone from brown to like green. Nature just comes back so fast with these lovely little purple ones. Soon we'll have nice green fields, and then a couple of months later we're going to have lots of flowers, and then in the spring we're going to have up to shoulder height of just wildflowers and clovers and things like that. Tons of insects, bees. It's going to be absolutely incredible again, one of my favorite times of year. Cool, so now he's starting on the big bottom field down here. Oh, look over there, there's his sheep. So a couple of fields across, Joaquin's sheep are munching down on some what looks like corn. That's the crop that he grows in the summertime, as it's nice and green even in the heat. But now they don't really have to worry about that, because look, all of the greenery is coming back again. So yeah, pretty soon they're going to have big fields to munch. Joaquin looks after land all around us here, so a lot of the different landowners and things have agreements with him where he comes and tills the soil, plants the grasses and stuff like that, and then he reaps the rewards of that for his sheep. So that's something that works out really well for us, and yeah, and it's also really interesting to see. So a job that we have coming up soon is we're going to have to replace all of this fencing. This one's not too bad, but it's gone really low now. A lot of the poles have snapped. Joaquin's actually used this blue string to try and see if he can tighten the rows. We got things like wild boar that come smashing through here, so as they're walking across the field they'll just run straight through, and some of these wild boar are absolutely enormous, and so yeah, I mean, a fence stands absolutely no chance against them. But in order for Joaquin to safely put his sheep in a field like he has over there, obviously all of the fences need to be good and stuff like that. We've got our dogs fenced off around our farmhouse area there, so when the sheep are on here obviously the dogs won't come down. But it's also good to have them fenced off in case there's other dogs in the area that could potentially come, like other dogs or predators or something like that. And so that his sheep have a nice big field to be safe inside. And then of course another big job that's coming up soon is the olive harvest. So I'm not too sure exactly how many trees have got olives this year, but an olive harvest usually takes us about 3 to 4 days, where we cover the entire farm. And that's working really fast, because Joaquin and Fernando, they don't mess around, so it's not like a nice, enjoyable, peaceful thing. It's everyone, all hands on deck, and shaking the olives out the trees, wrapping them up, sticking them in the 4x4, and then taking them to the press. So yeah, it takes like 3-4 days. I think the longest one was 5 days. But this year I don't mind as much. On the other years we've had so much leftover olive oil that all of the hard work is kind of, when you've already got oil, it feels kind of pointless. But this year we're finally reaching the end of our olive oil supply, so it's going to be nice to get some back from these trees. So after these fields are tilled, Joaquin will come back with the seed spreader, and he's going to spread a whole bunch of seeds. I'll find out from him exactly what those seeds are, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be like green manures and clovers and things like that. Then after that he comes back with a device that flattens the seeds into the soil, and then we wait for the rains, we wait for the sun, and nature takes its course. Farm life is like periods of activity followed up by periods of rest and absolutely nothing going on, and then suddenly periods of lots of activity again. Well, that is unless you have a dairy farm or you're looking after animals or something like that. But if you are just growing sort of crops and grasses and things, then it can be a lot more peaceful. So Joaquin's arrived. It's been about 10 days since he was last here. His tractor was broken, but now his tractor's fixed. He's got this device here which is going to spray a whole bunch of compost all over the fields. So this is basically a mixture of straw and sheep manure, and we're going to put that all over the fields here to fertilize them. So it looks like there's some kind of a problem with the machine. So basically what's happening inside this trailer is there's some kind of a floor that moves, pushing the compost this way, and then these teeth all spin around, and it seems like there's some kind of a problem with the gears and the teeth. He was looking underneath here. There's like a drive shaft, and it looks like the drive shaft is not being turned by the PTO of the tractor. I'm assuming the tractor part's fine, but it's probably this shaft over here. Okay, so it's come out this way. So 10 days ago when he first started, he was using this Ford 3430, and I think he was saying that it's not his big tractor, it's not the big strong one. He needed quite a big strong one to run this whole trailer over here. His big tractor is back there, and he had problems with the clutch and then problems with the bearings and all sorts of stuff. So I think what he's probably done is he's probably using the smaller tractor, and now he's got problems with the drive shaft. It looks like he was saying that the drive shaft is coming out this way and it should be more in this way, so it's probably not making contact with the gears that it needs to turn here on the back. Yeah, actually I can see that now. If you look from this side, it looks like it's actually disconnected. So this is spinning and it's disconnected from the gear that it has to turn. It looks like Joaquin is walking along the track to try and see where this gear is. It looks like the gear has possibly fallen off, or the pin or something that was holding it on. Right, well, I'm going to have a walk around and also see if I can find it in here somewhere.
Fast.
Yeah.
É, está aqui. Parafuso deste.
Okay.
Os parafusos foram à vida.
Okay, so it's just quattro and then...
Mas tem que ter parafuso com porca.
Okay.
Aqui não é preciso, estava a porca aqui, está aqui.
Sim.
Mas além tem que ter porca.
Okay.
Parafuso e porca. Vou ver se lá há, vou metê-los, desengato aqui o cardão, bato, vou ver, vou tentar.
It seems that he's been plagued by quite a few problems for the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, you know, sometimes when it rains it pours. So Joaquin's just phoned to say that he's fixed it and he's back. Well, he actually said he's going to experimentar. So let's go and see. I'm guessing he's kind of done a little bit of an experimental job, and it's not a complete fix, but oh, there we go. It looks like he's working. Yeah, I can see the compost spraying out the back. Perfect. Right, let me just get my bike out the way. And there it is, the poo spreader. I've been feeling bad for Joaquin because it just seems like everything seems to be breaking for him at the moment. So I'm glad that he managed to get this one fixed. I don't know if you guys saw, but at the beginning of this year when we had spring, these fields were just incredible. Like they were the best I've ever seen them. And like normally when we first moved in here, this field in front, it wasn't so great. Like the grass wasn't growing very well there in spring, and now it's looking fantastic. And I can just imagine after we've put a whole bunch of compost throughout these fields what that's going to do for it. Oh no, it looks like it's broken again. What a pity. Just as the going was good. So let's just have a look. Yeah, that drive shaft is out again. And this is the plate back here. I think that he said the bolts weren't fitting in. Looks like the bolts are in there. Okay, so it's turning there, and it's turning there, but it's just not making connection with these spinny bits, unfortunately, because it's basically shifted too far this way. Ah, well.
Está muito bem.
Yeah. Right, let's see. Joaquin's got a hammer. Hopefully there's a way that he can reattach it here easily. But yeah. Okay. So it looks like the drive shaft was actually working, but this little gear was out. Right, well here goes. He's going to turn on the PTO and let's see, you can see it's turning that drive shaft. I don't see this turning. Oh no. See. Oh no, man. So I can see underneath here where the drive shaft connects, the sleeve isn't quite covering that gear, so it's not turning it. Unfortunately, this is not something that he's going to be able to fix here, because every time that he puts the drive shaft back in and then starts to work, it kind of pushes itself out again. So I'm not sure exactly how he's going to fix that, but the little fix that he tried obviously didn't work. So it looks like we're going to be calling it a day. But as soon as this is fixed, I will be recording it again. Yeah, obrigado, Joaquim. Obrigado. Sometimes things just never seem to go to plan and everything seems to break at the same time. But you know what? Things are going to get better. And next week, I'm pretty sure all of our troubles will be over. So make sure you tune in for another episode of Portugal Farm Life. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop us a comment. And until then, we'll see you later. All the best and ciao.